Thank you, and good morning. My next guest, if you happen to see this gentleman on the beach this weekend, don't kick sand in this guy's face. He is a karate champ and star of a new motion picture called The Octagon. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Chuck Norris. Hi, Chuck. How are you? Thank you for being here. Now, is it fair to describe you as the successor to Bruce Lee? Is that an accurate assessment of what you do?
Well, it's a nice compliment. I don't think my films are in the same range as Bruce's. Bruce's films were primarily karate or kung fu movies. I think my movies have a little more substance to them. The story's a little more involved. I have tremendous actors supporting me and actresses. I've had, Dana Andrews, Jim Backus, Lloyd Haynes, James Franciscus, Jennifer O'Neill as my backup stars, and Lee Van Cleef in my current film.
Lee Van Cleef is a great nasty guy, isn't he?
He's great. He's a super person. He plays a good guy in my movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is unusual. But yeah, he plays a mercenary, but on the good side.
But he's just got one of those great. I mean, he's a great villain.
He is. He really is.
But or in this case, he's a great good guy. Chuck, don't worry. I'm sure it'll make no difference. He'll be fine.
No, he's great.
Now, when I would go to these Bruce Lee movies or other martial arts movies, they'd be a little silly. The guy would leave his house, "I'm going for gum, honey," and on his way down to the store, he's like besieged by thousands of guys, and they would be able to jump like 30 and 40 feet in the air. Now,
no, well, my films don't do that. The type of films I want to do is, again, with a good story, with good acting, with good direction, and with martial arts scenes inserted when it's emotionally right, meaning that there's no other choice but for me to use the ability that I have. Because that's the difference between violence and action, is the philosophy of when you use it. And if a person tries to avoid a violent confrontation, but he's finally pushed into the corner where there's no way out, well, then we want to have the ability to cope with it. And that's basically the character I project on the screen, is the guy that tries to avoid it.
Now, which came first for you, acting, or I'm guessing it's the other way around?
It's definitely the other way around. No, I've been in karate for 22 years. I've been in acting now a little over 4 years, so I'm still very green as an actor.
About 5 or 6 years ago, I became aware to me that I was the only one in the world who did not know karate. Is the world in danger of coming to an end in one massive karate fight? And I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, are there too many guns? Do too many people know karate? You know what I'm saying?
No, actually, it would be great if everyone did know it, because there'd be less violence, because of the philosophy that's projected into your training. Everyone thinks of karate strictly as a physical application, but what it does is it strengthens you mentally, psychologically, and emotionally, because most violence is stemmed from insecurity, trying to prove something to yourself. And when a person develops this inner security and this goal-seeking knowledge that the martial arts teaches you to do, it overcomes a lot of violent confrontations.
Let me ask you.
I've never used it.
Let me ask you. I know nothing about defending myself.
Right.
And since I've been in New York, there have been times when I thought maybe I was going to have to. I'll give you a quick example. One night, I was trying to get my dog to throw up because he'd eaten too many pills. This is the truth. Honest to God. That has nothing to do with it, but my dog's getting sick, and in the middle of all of this, a guy, a complete stranger, walks into my house. I don't know who he is. I have no idea why he's there.
Yeah.
And it irritated me. So I went running down the stairs, and I started screaming at the guy. I was livid, and he just stood there. He was not frightened by me at all. He was kind enough to leave, and there was, But it occurred to me later, that was probably a dumb thing for me to do. Now, what I need to know from you, is there a way I can tell if a guy is tougher than I am without laying a hand on him? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah. Well,
can you tell by looking at a guy that he's tough?
Well, you can ask him. It's hard to say, Dave, because it's a feeling. It's not it's something that's in the eye. It's amazing that the people that are very, very good in the martial arts never have to use it, because it's an attitude. Really, it's an attitude that really either draws trouble to you or pushes trouble away. And because I've been at it 22 years and I've never had to use it. And I hope.
Really? Is that right?
Never have. And I have been everywhere, all over the world. I've been in the roughest areas you can think of, imaginable, and it's a respect thing. If you respect someone, they will respect you.
Chuck Norris is here, and I guess what we're going to do first, you're going to show me how you simulate action in one of those scenes we just saw. Nobody gets hurt in one of those, do they?
Well, not all the time. Sometimes. We have a few injuries in Octagon, but generally...
What kind of injuries were they?
Well, I knocked 3 guys out in a row in a fight scene. What happened is the first guy was not one of my regular guys I fight with, and I hit him. And
Was
I knocked him.
a guy delivering eats
No,
or
he's a
something?
stuntman. No, he was a
Here's
stuntman.
your soup.
He wasn't used to taking the, because I do make contact generally in my films, and both my guys are conditioned to it, and this guy wasn't. And when I hit him, I knocked him out. And then I was thinking about, oh my gosh, I've hurt him. Then my second guy attacked, and I lost my train of thought, and I reacted out of instinct, and I kicked and knocked him out. And my third guy was my brother. My brother said, oh my gosh, he's lost his concentration. And he jumped out, and I knocked him and hit him in the head, knocked him out. And the fourth guy's on top and says, I'm not going down there.
But after the second guy went out cold, didn't you kind of see a trend forming there?
Yeah, but it happens so fast. It happens very, very fast.
Yeah.
You don't have time to really think. It has to be a spontaneous reaction.
You got all the time you need to think you're the same.
But actually, normally though, Dave, is you do miss by a very
Okay,
close
you're going to
range.
show us that,
Yes.
right? Okay, and what do you want me to do?
Just stand there.
Okay.
No, actually, when you do make contact, or when you do a fight scene in a movie, the main thing is generally the camera will be behind you. So the distance, there's no depth perception in your kick. But
Say that again. The camera is.
Yeah, generally the camera would be behind. So when I
see.
throw a kick, if I throw a kick, see, right into here. See, I missed by just about 1/4 of an inch. And so when David reacted to that, if he would have reacted like he had gotten hit, see the camera, it would have been a hit on camera.
It would have looked pretty good.
It would look pretty
now,
good.
when do they get the noise in there? How do they put that in?
Oh, the key, well, generally we go into a dubbing room, but many times when I do it, I'll do that, I'll go, "Hey-ya!" right into here like this here. Or, or a punch, same thing with a punch. See, right into here, like this here, You can, but anyway, if that's how he reacts, so I throw the punch that close, he snaps his head back, and it's a hit on film.
Gee. Okay, now we got that out of the way. Let's. If somebody needs to defend his or herself,
right?
What can we do? Now,
well, let me show you.
My problem with this is, even if I had thugs come in here now and surprise you, could you handle them honestly? Do you think?
Well, I'd hope I wouldn't have to, but the thing is, if I'm pushed into the corner, like you were telling me a story earlier about a guy was in the corner and they were yelling, I'm going to stab him in the stomach.
Yeah, the party at my house.
Right. But a situation, if someone walks up to you and he has a gun, he says, Chuck, he says, give me your wallet. I said, sure. I give him my wallet. I said, I'll write you a check too if you want. But if he says, I'm going to shoot you, well then, you have nothing to lose, right? Then it's nice to have this ability to try to get out of a situation like that. But you don't use it unless it's absolutely necessary.
But what I've always wondered, does it become second nature?
Oh, sure, of course it does.
Show me.
Absolutely.
Show me. Now, could a woman do what we're going to do?
Of course.
Okay, show me what to do.
About 30% of my enrollment are women.
Okay.
All right, let's get over here so they can see it. Let's say anytime someone walks up to you and you feel like there's going to be a violent confrontation, you never face them straight on, because all this is a very vulnerable area. So you'd always turn it slightly at a slight angle. So turn about right there, a slight angle right this here. Now it's a less target for him to strike at. Always keep your hands relaxed at your side, so you're ready to react.
When you say relax, could you relax if that happened? I'm serious. What would you do, Frank? Would you? Yeah. That's the key. You gotta.
Well, we practice that too. See, what we do, our philosophy is that if someone's going to attack us, we run until he gets tired, and then we turn around and we beat him up. See, that's the... No, but actually, let's get serious here. No, in a real situation, though, Dave, if someone does come up to you and you think there's going to be a confrontation, then you would turn at a slight angle.
Okay, turn.
Right. Now your hands are ready to defend or ready to attack. Okay? He's ready. So now, if I throw a punch, most people, when they throw a punch, they draw back and they telegraph it. So as they do, then as I throw the punch, Dave, the first thing would do is block. That's what karate is warding off an attack by blocking right into here. As soon as he blocked, rather than drawing back like most people do by way back here, it comes right from the hip. The power comes from the hip. And it brings right here, and then the punch goes right into the stomach.
Now that hurts.
But as soon as you hit him in the stomach, right into here, naturally that may knock the wind out of him, but it may not be enough to drop him to the ground. So then you would grab both of his shoulders, that one and this one here. The right foot then would come behind my right leg, right into here. Now, what you're doing is breaking his balance. Now, what I want you to do, I want you to pull down as hard as you can with the left and push with the right. Hard. Oh! There you go. Right in.
Now, but a woman, now I guess you and I weigh similar. weights. But could a woman, say, who weighs maybe 50 or 60 pounds lighter than a thug?
You see, a woman has an advantage that we don't have. A thug expects a woman to either scream, scratch, you know, things like this here. He is not ready for her to retaliate in a very aggressive manner. And when a woman learns the martial arts and a guy comes up, first of all, the main thing you must develop is an awareness of what's going on around you. That's the key thing in anything. In the martial arts, it teaches you to be aware of situations around you. 90% of the time you can get out of a situation if you're aware of what's going on. But most people walk with blinders on, and they walk right into a situation. But if a woman is accosted, a guy will generally, he'll attack. If she knows how to use the different parts of her body as a weapon, it's very, very effective. If a man walks up and starts to grab you by the throat or whatever it may be, there's many parts, the knee to the groin, elbow to the jaw, many situations.
Can we show something here real quick?
Sure, yeah. Well, first of all, okay, it's a guy grabs right in here. Well, first thing you do is you knee him. As soon as you knee him, then you come up here and grab him right by the hair and then take him right to the ground.
Twice that's happened. Now that's twice that's happened. I've done one of these before with a little old man, and they do that to you, and for just a fleeting second, everything gets warm and fuzzy, you know? And you know you're seconds away from the twilight zone. Good heavens.
But it does work, Dave. That's the great thing about it. It does work.
Now, how long would a course would it take before it becomes second nature? If a woman wants to sign up or I wanted to sign up?
It's hard to say because it depends on how much you put into it. It's like anything you get involved in. The more you apply yourself, the faster you're going to develop it. But it's not an overnight thing. It takes time and it takes dedication. But the end result is great.
Okay, terrific. Good luck with your film.
Thank you, Dave.
Chuck Norris, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with Edwin Newman and an NBC News Update.